Maya, how are you?
Hello, Anna. Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
excellent. And you?
I'm fantastic. I'm very happy seeing you here. Let's explain to the world how we met and who you are.
Okay, so this was, bueno, I'm Maya. I'm a woman living in San Lorenzo right now. And we met on a Friday. So I was taking a walk and just moving around the place and the woods. And suddenly someone stopped me and asked me about uh, if I danced, and then we met.
Yes, and
So
I have to explain to the world that she was dancing in a way that I have never seen before. She was naturally moving her body in the middle of the street you were listening some songs, rap
yeah,
songs. Then
yeah,
later we
I
discovered
did.
that were rap songs that I don't usually listen to that kind of music, but you were enraptured, you were absolutely moving, absolutely captivated by the music, and you called my attention, and you know, I couldn't just go went and ask you, hey, are you a dancer? A professional dancer, because you were moving in a way that really I haven't seen before. And I love dancing, but I can't move myself as you do.
So yes, exactly. In that moment, I was feeling a lot of joy because I've just r- discovered some new songs,
Mm.
like some hip hop songs, and I was very excited. And like the day was perfect, like the temperature, the light, and like the streets, and I was just enjoying myself. So like i I've received like a dancing. I've danced ballet when I was a kid, and then moved on and tried as many styles as I could, but like now I'm using it like for myself, like for um, enjoying life and enjoying my body, and like maybe now it's the time to share it with more people, like and being able like for others like to feel the same joy and connection as I've been able to experience through music, and also yes, through connecting with music and the body.
Exactly. And that's why I'm going to hire you to teach us the folk dance and also the more modern steps that you are going to teach us for certain scenes in Little Women. And you are welcome also to come every Friday, but I know that you are busy and you do other projects. Tell us about your projects. What are you working on these days?
So right now we're starting. Well, it's already being started, but we are going to habilitate a space for different services, and we have massages and yoga and tai chi and all these different activities that the it works along the lines of personal health and growth, and like being more in peace and happier in life, just to enjoy our right here in this precious world.
Exactly.
So
Can you tell us again the name? Because the place where we are going to be doing the rehearsals, they also work in transpersonal growth and personal growth, and they do also, a lot of things in relation to health and the well-being of the people, mind and spirits. Uh, so it's a similar kind of space, like you are
yeah,
also working
sure,
in the same direction. We could say, can you tell us again the name?
sure. So the name is Energeia. So
Energy.
it's an association with no government founding,
Yeah.
and
And it's
the
here in
the
San
good
Lorenzo.
thing.
It's
Yeah, in San Lorenzo here. And the good thing is like it's now the moment, like so different initiatives are like flowering in society, because like really for mental health, and that's the aim of this association, like the support for mental health.
Yes.
And it seems like humans now is like the big issue, and
Yes,
like myself now I've gone through like this journey
exactly.
and from, yeah,
And
and
especially after COVID times, I guess that we all need this kind of support as well, because it has been 2 years kind of very tough already.
yeah, and I guess even before, but like the stop, no, like the word stop, like forced us. Really, there was no other option that get, turn the our view from outside to inside, and like really like have
Yeah,
to face
let
what's inside, you know,
yeah,
like the darker things, and there was no evasion, no, you couldn't hide from yourself. And so it's the perfect opportunity, like to get the hands and get working with the marvelous things that we have inside, and to integrate all the parts, and so we can like give
shine.
the best of us, yes, to the world, and
Yes,
enjoy life, like
yes.
I
Enjoy
reiterate.
life with others and with moving in from your spirit in that kind of a spirited silliness that we are going to talk today about, because there are certain movements in life that they might look like a little bit silly, but actually it's the best way to break through something new. So
Completely.
at the beginning, the steps that are new, they look a little bit silly or look a little bit clumsy, but then later you are creating something new, a new direction, a new path. And this is, I think, this is happening these days through many different projects that I happen to know. I know your project, but I know also Begonia's project in Paseos, that she is doing a fantastic work there too. So let's start with the reading. But before I start reading with you, Maya, why do you have so beautiful English?
So it has been thanks to my parents for sure, because they make the tremendous effort, like to send me to a school, like it was English speaking school. So I've grown up in English classes until I was 18, and actually then I studied in Spanish university, and it was hard for me keeping up with the just because I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
And also, I had the opportunity to go to summer camps in other countries, and to communicate with other people in English at the end, because
Yes.
like it is like a common ground, no, that you where you could establish like connections with others. Although every relationship you create your own language after, no, but like English is still like accessible to all
Hmm.
if you have the opportunity. And I really enjoy it, but like I still, there's part of my mind that sometimes goes to English instead of Spanish, and it's cool also. I have so much more access to different parts of culture, like music or literature, also films. Yeah, it's
Exactly. So there is, it's like I always say that having a second language, it is a second key that opens a field, a vast field to the world, and it's a fantastic key to discover culture and other experiences in life, how people have been communicating their ideas, and at the end we find something that is that all we share the same thing through different angles. So it's another key. Yes, true. So let's start with the reading. Maya,
let's
you are
go.
playing the narrator this time, and Joe, and I will be helping with Meg and Lori.
Perfect.
Oh, by the way, people that are listening to us and are in this group, we are on the page 19 and 20, and this scene is the end. We are going to read the ending of the ball scene, Okay. So if you have watched the video with Mario that I will place someplace over here, this scene that we are going to read, it comes after what we have read before with Mario, okay? So let's start.
Okay. Interior. Corridor near ballroom. Gardener house. Night. In the secluded corridor, which is a corridor separated from the central place, Joe and Laurie dance with spirited silliness, with this energy out of the formal and the social rules. Yeah. Neither dances well. Joe nearly tramples Laurie, so Joe almost makes fall Laurie. Joe March. Sorry, I can get used to. At home, makes me the man's part. Oops, shame you don't know the girl's part. Are you looking at the back of my dress? You cheat. As Laurie tries to glimpse Joe's burn spot, laughing, Joe and Laurie spin around like cats chasing each other's tails. Joe March. You promised you wouldn't look. Giggling and half gliding, Joe and Laurie stumble across Meg sitting on the servants' stairs, tearfully clutching her ankle.
Meg March. Oh, Joe, I've sprained my ankle. Laurie, I shouldn't wonder in those shoes.
Meg recoils in dismay at his rude manner. Joe March. This is our neighbor, Laurie, the captive. Oh, poor Meg. Oh, dear.
A perfectly good party ruined. Laurie, here, let me see. Meg March, humiliated, covers ankle. Don't, please.
Joe March. I'll go tell Mrs. Gardiner.
Meg March. No, I'd be mortified. She'd think I've been sampling the punch, and sampling the punch means tasting it or drinking it.
Joe March. But Meg, how will we get home? Now interior moving carriage at night. The carriage rocks along with Laurie and Joe and unhappy Meg, cramped together. All three are very close together inside this carriage. Meg's stocking foot is propped on Laurie's knee. It's situated on top of the knee, and Laurie holds a snowball on it. Joe March. Some arnica will put it good as new. Meg gives Laurie a formal look, trying to keep her dignity in as impossible circumstances.
In an impossible circumstances, yes. So Meg March says, I'm really very much obliged for the carriage, Mr. Lawrence.
With a charming smile barely touched with sexual knowledge.
Laurie, my pleasure, Miss March. Good, so this is the end. And now we are going to explain a little bit further certain expressions, or three expressions and three words that you would highlight, Maya, from this reading.
Okay, so I would highlight the secluded,
which mean private, yes.
The in dismay.
In dismay, yes, is equal to say what?
In dismay, like in a dramatic way.
In horror, yes. In horror or in alarm, yes. Well done.
In alarm. Which else? And the
any other that you have found interesting?
Clutching, like tearfully clutching her ankle.
Yes, clutching is also embracing or taking, like clutching, holding it. Yes. And what about the word cramped together?
Oh, so
When
cramped
they are
together.
when they are inside of the carriage and they are crowded inside, we can express that the three of them are crammed together. Any other expression, Maya?
The
Well, this word is difficult to pronounce. The stockinged food is propped. Remember that expression? Meg's stockinged foot is propped on Laurie's knee. And so stockinged means that is wearing the sock. So it's not bare completely. And then Laurie is placing a snowball in order to help her with the pain, and with the cold of the snow. Good. And can we let's comment on the homeopathic remedies that this family find? Let's comment on that.
so the May no Joe after suggests like some arnica that will put it in good as new on the. So I guess it's an oil
Essential
made
oil.
made out of arnica. Um, and well, personally, I haven't tried arnica. Never. I've tried like with some seeds, but it didn't come to a good end. But I get it's good for inflammation, maybe.
It yeah, because it will, and circulation as well. It helps with the with anything, any bumps that you get or any injured. So if you can just spread on the on your skin and you rub a little bit, it gets hotter and hotter and warm. So that helps the muscles and the joint and whatever you have. Because I like to explain also this expression that people usually sometimes forget. This word, when Meg says, I've sprained my ankle,
Mm,
means to twist the ligaments around a joint, or injure it without a break. So it didn't break, it didn't have any fracture in the bones. It's just the joint that has been around the joint, the ligaments around the joint has been damaged, and that they are twisted. So when you rub the area and you massage, you make a massage there, everything gets in its place, we could say. And you know that very well yourself because you are a dancer, you're a ballerina. Tell us about your experience with ballet and dance. How are you going to help us with this?
so I guess like the experience of ballet, it it makes me think about in the novel about the formal dance and how it has like specific moves and you have to express in a specific way,
Hmm.
and like the timing and the yeah and the use of the space is much controlled. Also like physically also it's very like demanding.
Yes, and Steve right, as well. Yes.
Yes, and like the breathing and the yes the straightness. Yes, it's quite stiff. It's
Yeah,
quite stiff.
especially in the 19th century, because this movie is from 1863, more or less. It was written. So you are going to help us with the folk dance. In this case, the everything that happens in the ballroom officially, girls and boys meeting together and dancing. That would be your coach or your part of the coaching as a dance coaching. Then you are going to help us also to discover how Joe and Laurie made their own way. Can you tell us about that as well?
Yeah, okay. So there's a part of dance that's mainly the connection with the movement. So and there's actually movement around us without even music. So it's more like connecting. Yeah. So to find, you only need to find a beat. So it could be the beat of your heart, or the beat of your emotions, or the beat of what is happening around. You don't even need music, but certainly we are used to dance to music, no? But there's, if you um, like practice a different hearing, you can imagine even the music, I guess. So it's uh, putting your body to the service of this movement or this beat, and letting, yes, using it as a channel, no? uh, Channeling whatever you need or whatever you want
Yeah,
is more. So one type of dance would be like more forcing yourself to
to follow
behave
tips. Yes.
more conductual, and the other would be letting whatever needs to be expressed to flow out, and to yeah, put it, offer it
Ex-
to the outside world.
Fantastic. And this is exactly what is happening in this scene. So our work is to make a new version of it. And I know and I'm sure that you are going to help us a lot, because when I saw you dancing in the street, I thought this girl must be in my team. And I'm looking forward to see you later in the evening with the girls, Delia, Camila, Begoña, and maybe it appears more people, but for sure we are those in the space. And I think that in this scene, Joe and Laurie, they are expressing in this part that you are telling us, by contrast with what is happening in the dance room and the ballroom, they are moving free in a with a spirited silliness, expressing the joy that they are feeling by breaking the rules, we could say, no? But they are breaking the rules a little bit of how they have to behave in society. And they are in a private space, in a, we have read before, secluded space. Um, and that is also something more intimate, right? So it requires an intimacy as well. It's the first time they meet, but suddenly they are sharing something very unique and very personal, which is connecting each other's and dancing. I guess that, well, the closest thing that comes to my mind are the discos these days. In any disco, it could happen something like that you don't know the man or the boy, and then suddenly you are dancing with him. Well, I'm 41 years old, and I don't go anymore to discos, but I remember when I was younger that it's true that we were full of energy and we were very happy to meet our friends, and we could end up dancing with people that we didn't even know. What do you think about this?
I think that well, I haven't been to discos in a long time, but like I always had a sense it has this essence of the ballroom. So still you could do, it's a dark place with very loud music. So there's like a bit of this in it allows you a bit more intimacy, because there's supposedly no rules, but at the end of the day or the night,
Yeah.
like you're still exposed to some rules of, or there's still this stiffness,
Yeah.
the people are not really
Drinking,
uh,
they are drinking, especially men, they are drinking on the bar, and they are just moving the hands.
yeah,
Where
so
girls are usually more explosive and more expressive, and they move in groups or alone. Yes, true.
but yes, it does. Like I've seen it, I've experienced it, like not a lot of times, but it's like really magic, no? Maybe like dancing in, when circles, when people come into circles, and then like, because there's like more spontaneous
It's spontaneous.
movement there, and and but it also like it takes like courage, like to put aside the prejudices, yeah, and the like don't let what others are going to think of you affect you or your movement, no. And still in discourse, when you go out at night, there's a lot of like looking at the other and
judgment, we could say, or prejudge, no, judgments or prejudgments that you have said before. Yeah, just I'm just saying the words because maybe people are thinking, what word was that?
thank you.
Was that a judgment, or you could also say a critic or criticism or some kind of, yeah. So the
Yeah,
people think a lot about the next movement, so we could say, in terms of
yeah,
chasing someone to be, you know, in a relationship or something like that. But in this case, in this moment, Joe and Lori are having fun, a lot of fun. They are very innocent. She's 18 and he's a little bit older than her. And Meg is the oldest of all of them. And we know that in the relationship, we can see the innocence and the expectations as well. If you read before or if you watch the scene that we have read, Mario and I, Laurie is coming and or is telling Joe that he has traveled around Europe and that his family belongs to a place in Italy or comes from there at least. So she is looking forward to hear more stories about Europe. So she finds him exotic somehow, and she's willing to share with him, as she can see also that he is a man, so a young man that is starting a new kind of life, becoming an adult, and she knows that he has access to things that she doesn't have as well. So this has happened before the dancing, and but she's still full of hope and full of energy to do her own way. So she's thinking in her Aunt March, who knows that maybe one day she can go with her to Europe. And also she's thinking about writing and publishing her things in New York and to pursue the stage. So she is also expressing in this teenage moment of her life her main goals in life and how she wants to do her own thing, you see. Which is not easy, wasn't easy for women at that time, and I think it's still not easy for us. What do you think?
I think today it's easier in the sense of like material opportunities. Maybe it's easier, depending also on your like material space in life. I guess if you have like money or education, or but still there's it is difficult at an emotional or mental way.
Mm.
Um, but I can only like talk from my experience. But like there's still a thing about being a girl or a woman,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
so that suddenly you have inside you so many like structures and like discourses. You
Yeah.
say like that?
Yeah, the chatterbox, we could say.
The,
Yeah.
not chatterbox, but like the what you're supposed to
The
become.
mindset. The mindset.
Yeah, the mindsets, no, and how you like the goals. They're like quite demanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes, we have a lot of pressure from ourselves.
that's so it's maybe the pressure from the 19th or 18th century that was outside. Maybe it's more like it's masked or undercover, but it's still there and it's mostly inside.
Inside is even worse because you have the you have the person that is sabotaging, we could say, ourselves is us, and I see
Yeah.
that in myself a lot. It's true. Um,
So And it's also like it's perfect because the only thing you have to like it's not fight but like integrate or overcome. It only depends on you,
On you.
and it's inside. So you don't have like to overcome society and family, and
Yeah.
in some cases when like there's also like learning lessons from family and from society that I think it's like the part that it will always be there.
Yes.
But like it's in that sense, no, that what we were talking about, like being a teenage girl in those times and now, maybe outside there it's easier
Mm,
thinking about if you're a teenage girl living in Europe in 2022, like
exactly.
so, like very specific place in the world, you
Exactly.
know.
Yes. And so this reminds me also, and I will probably place it somewhere as well, to the Virginia Woolf speech in 1931 that is called Professions for Women. She is giving there a fantastic speech to women in general, and she calls that the mindset of us and something that is interior. She calls that voice the angel in the house. And that angel in the house is her own voice, the Victorian, mindset of how to be a woman in the world. And she was fighting against that voice herself. And you can see that perfectly in that speech. It is like 5 or 6 pages long. And if you want, I can share it with you anytime. I will probably place a link, and then you can see and watch some readings that I have done already about that too. So it has been a pleasure. Maya, do you want to say anything else?
But no, I was stuck with being a girl or a boy, but like I think it's really we identify with gender, and I think like it doesn't matter like any type of identification, the it will stop you from like expressing spirit. So it doesn't matter if it's like gender or class or whatever type of identification
Yeah,
nowadays. Like
I call that the female energy and male energy. I'm wearing, for example, today as a symbol, very theatrical symbol, of a Western lace. It's a Western bow lace to identify a little bit the lace that the Mr. March will be wearing something similar to this. I just happen to have this ribbon. I don't usually wear ribbons, or laces, but I'm wearing it today because this is more or less something similar to what it will look a man in that time, then later with a kind of levita or a jacket. So they put a lot of layers on it. But what I'm trying to express also with you now that you have mentioned the gender situation is that I prefer to talk about male energy and female energy. I'm a twin. I have a twin brother, and I think that I have considered myself always feminine, but I can recognize on me a lot of male energy because also I am the only girl in my family. Well, I was, I don't have any um, sister. I only have brothers. So it helped me a lot to discover how the man world, the man or the male energy works, and also it happened that I have a lot of aunties. So and my mom is cancer like you. I'm Gemini, you know that. I'm air, you are water, but also we have other things probably. Like for example, I have a lot of Virgo in my charts, and which means that, for example, the energy of male, I always tell my coaching people, is about expressing and chasing something outwardly, but inwardly it's more feminine. It's about Venus. It's about being receiving. It's about listening in an active position. So I love what you have said about not being identified with your body. And I think this is something that people are getting a little bit lost with, trying to change their bodies. It's not about changing your bodies, it's about changing the energy that is misplaced.
Yeah, or getting to equilibrium inside, like
Yeah,
with all
like
the type of
yeah,
energy
yeah,
that.
yeah. Because for example, some girls resonate more in male energy, and others resonate more in female energy. But the interesting thing, and I guess that you are going to help us also to discover that through dancing, is that we can actually empower ourselves, the weakest parts of us as well. If we have a lot of male energy, why don't you put more energy in the female, and vice versa? Because it is about being whole, not being identified with just one part of yourself. So this is why I wanted to have your collaboration with us, because you can bring us this tool, a fantastic tool, which is moving our body and expressing our energies through it.
Yeah, like for sure, dance and movement is like a treasure for managing energy. Also, as you said, turning like balance both, but
Balance.
also if sometimes you have a lot of energy of some type accumulated, and before like trying to balance it with something, maybe letting something out, like to get out some pressure, and
Yeah.
then like yeah, for sure you can work it like any way you want is.
Yes. I'm looking forward that you give us examples of physical movements on stage or on room, because we will be in the room of space. I'll see you this evening. I have to finish soon because I have other things to do, and you probably are also going to do something else now. But I want to again tell you that I really appreciate your time. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, Anna, very much for sharing with me your project, and I'm really looking forward, like for whatever happens from now on, and it's a pleasure, really, like to participate in this initiative.
Yes,
So thank you very much.
you're welcome. You are part of it, and we need you. I need that energy. We need those. Your skill of moving is amazing. I have always told you. I don't know you a lot, but from the first time I saw you, I knew that you are a dancer. So thank you for bringing your talent to our space.
Thank you, Anna.
I'll see
Have
you
a nice
later.
day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.